Hello, 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 y'all, and welcome on back to Creators Spicy Tea, the podcast where we sit down, we dish, and we spill all that tea on adult content creation. And y'all, I'm gonna just preface this episode with, if you hear weird background noise, it's Ducky. She is having a mom day. When I kicked her out of the room to film, she sat outside and cried. So, she wins. She's a terrorist, and she wins. We do give in to terrorist demands in this room. So, today, y'all, it's going to be real serious. This was a topic that was voted on to be done by the Patreon members. If you're a creator using Reddit to grow your business or promote your content or build an audience, you need to listen to this, okay? Because Reddit, she ain't playing around right now. She is not playing around. Creator accounts are getting shadow banned, suspended, or permanently deleted at a rate that's beyond concerning. Beyond. And that shadow ban is what we're chatting on today. Now, I know what some of y'all are probably thinking. Maybe it's because these accounts broke the rules, right? That makes sense. Maybe they posted some inappropriate nonsense. Maybe they were spamming. They got mass reported. Here's the thing. So many of these accounts were breaking zero rules. They weren't doing anything differently from what they've been doing for months or years. They were existing on the platform, following the same strategies that had always worked for them. And then suddenly, Reddit decided, nope, screw you, get the hell off my platform. And I know it is so easy to think, oh, it won't happen to me, right? I don't really got to worry about it. Think again, please. I was thinking that same thing. I personally lost an account in December with over 200,000 karma that I'd been growing for 6 years. I did everything right. Y'all know how much I am a stickler for terms of service and not breaking rules, right? I followed the rules. I never spammed. I never broke policies. And still, my account was shadowed. And I'm not alone. More and more and more creators, community leaders, you name it, especially in the NSFW space, are waking up to find their accounts shadowed. And when they try and appeal, nothing. So, today, we're getting into everything we need to know on shadow bans on Reddit. And I'm talking what a shadow ban actually is, how you can check if you're shadowed, what's happening to creators in the community, especially the not safe for work creators, right? And most importantly, how the hell we can protect ourselves so that if we wake up tomorrow and we find out that our account is shadow banned, we are not completely screwed. Because trust me, y'all, Reddit's crazy enforcement wave, shadow ban wave, it's brutal. The best way to deal with it is to just be prepared. So first thing, let's just talk about shadow bans, what they are, and kind of what's been going on. If you don't know what a shadow ban is, you might think of it as a clear, direct action, like getting an email that says, hey, screw you, your account's suspended. But shadow ban is way more deceptive. Sometimes what it can look like is absolutely nothing different. Your account can still look totally normal to you. You can log in, post, comment, everything. Reality? No one sees your posts. No one sees your comments. Nothing. You don't show up in searches, in subreddit feeds. Basically, you're speaking to the void, right? And Reddit itself, it is not going to tell you when this happens. You are not going to get a warning, no notification, no email, nothing. You can be shadow banned for days, weeks, months. You might not even realize it. Shadow banning is not the same thing as an account suspension. If your account is suspended, Reddit will tell you. When you try and log in, you will get a message saying your account has been temporarily suspended, permanently suspended for violating Reddit's policies. You might have an option to appeal, might not, but either way, you're going to know what happened. A shadow ban, you are not going to get a notification like that. So then how in the hell do we know if we've been shadow banned? If Reddit isn't going to tell you, how do you check, right? There is only one way to know for absolute certain And that is Reddit's official method, the appeals page. Yes, there are subreddits like r/Shadowban where you can post and see if anyone comments. That is not efficient, and it's not guaranteed to be accurate. But if you go to reddit.com/appeals, APPEALS, while logged in to the account, once you're on that page, at the very top of the page, there should be a big red box. And that red box will say you cannot submit an appeal. If you see that box, breathe. You're fine. You're doing good. You're not shadowed. That box is gone. That's a red flag. That genuinely usually means you are shadow banned, suspended, or completely banned outright. Let's just talk about what's happening to creators across Reddit. Reddit has always had crazy strict spam filters, right? But in the past years, they've become way more aggressive. And the biggest trend we are seeing across the board is an all-out crackdown on NSFW accounts and creator businesses. And y'all, this is not just hitting small accounts. We are talking long-standing, high karma, well-established accounts that are just suddenly getting wiped by the shadow. So let's just talk about some of the reports that we've been seeing. Users are getting forced to reset their password, only for that shadow to hit immediately after, even though they had no suspicious login activity whatsoever. That, y'all, is exactly what happened to me and my account. When I opened the app, it said I needed to reset my password for suspicious activity. Once I did reset it, my account was still there, right? But that godforsaken, dreaded red trash can was next to every single post. My profile picture, my banner picture, both gone. And my account age was just some wild giant number in the thousands. The negative thousands. Y'all, I'm not the only one who's reported that this exact same process has happened to them. We are seeing reports of this process of a shadow ban happen to so many creators in so many of the creator-only spaces, in the creator forums on Reddit itself, you name it. This seems to be the new process that creators are being put through when their accounts are shadowed. We are also seeing creators being shadow banned on multiple accounts, even before posting anything, right? Some users report making a brand new account and then bam, shadow instantly. All right, here's the thing, hear me out. Reddit does have quite a few new account restrictions, and there's no secret around that, right? We're going to talk a little bit later on about exactly what I personally do step by step to help get around those restrictions and prevent my new accounts from getting caught in that spam filter or just outright being shadow banned from day one a little bit later. And that, what I just mentioned, that's just what's happening to users. That doesn't begin to touch on the freaking weirdness we're seeing with these subreddits themselves. In fact, just last month, we watched once again, for the second time in 6 months, hundreds of NSFW subreddits get banned from the platform for being unmoderated. Hear me out. I am on the mod team of many of the ones that went down. And let me tell you, they are fucking moderated and quite intensively. And Reddit's reasoning for that, when they brought all the subs back, oops, it was just a bug in the server. Yeah. Very interesting that that bug specifically only attacked NSFW subs. And why was that bug not fixed the first time this happened 6 months ago? Who can I ask about this? Get me someone to ask about this, because those are questions that I need answers to. Let's just talk my experience here step by step. It was about midday. I had been using my account as usual, not posting any more than usual, not commenting any more than usual. As for the structure of my account, I do use a scheduler. However, I also manually post to help my account from getting flagged as a bot. That's a big tip, y'all. That's a heads up. If you're using a scheduler, you still need to be manually posting and commenting as well. Schedulers are too perfect in their behavior. They do not have the same flaws that human manual posting does. So you need to be doing both. Another note on schedulers. Do not use one on a new account. We're going to go a little bit in depth on that a little later. As I was saying though, I opened my account up midday and I was logged out. Weird. I do not log out of my accounts. I don't know why. I have this weird paranoia about like logging out of accounts. Like, ooh, am I going to be able to log in? Even powering down my devices like my phone, I'm like, what if it doesn't turn back on? Somebody please tell me you experienced that too, so I don't feel so wild. Anyway, I opened my account up. My profile picture was the gray standard empty avatar. And when I checked my account, I again had that weird account age. My karma was gone. Every post had a trash can. And right then, I knew right away I was 8 levels of fucked. I ran to the appeals page. I was praying to a God I do not believe in that red box would be there. That God did not answer my prayers. Y'all, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be super honest. I cried. That was my business, y'all. That was 6 years of my life documented in pictures and posts, and it was a genuine community that I had built up and put work and effort and labor into. But I knew, okay, all right, now it's time to get to fucking work. I opened up a browser that I've never logged into Reddit on, and I pulled Reddit up, and I got my backup account logged in to get it registered to Reddit as active. Then I hopped back on over to the appeals page once I had calmed my shit down and could, type out a cohesive sentence. And I submitted my first appeal. I let them know I believed I was caught in the spam filter, which I knew I wasn't. I knew at that point they had taken my account. I let them know I was a stickler about following the rules. I was a human being who used the platform as intended. And I sent it off, just praying to hear back, at least something. Then I got to work, y'all. I reached out to all of the mod teams that I'm either in or have connections with to begin transferring my verifications. Most specifically, my selling subreddit verifications, where, again, that's my business. That's where I make my money. It took me about 3 days, I think, but after about 3 days, I had most of my verifications transferred over. Then, my next step I made a list of all of the subreddits from my old account that I felt the need to verify this new account in. Because y'all, I fully understood at that point, I'm very likely to not get that account back. So I need to build this one up immediately. Again, to be blunt and honest, I was taking lots of breaks to cry and panic, but we were getting there, right? I made the decision for which subreddits to re-verify in by going through my scheduler, which is fangrowth.io. I'll put Creators Spicy Tea's affiliate link in the description box below. I went through my scheduler and I sorted by best performing, and I prioritized verification in the subreddits I performed well in, and the ones I just kind of wasn't performing well in at all, I didn't really worry about re-verifying or reposting in, kind of just to cut the extra work that I had to do, because at that point I was looking at having to verify in like 40-50 subs, and y'all, we all know verification is a pain. All right, the next thing I did, and okay, is this potentially a little morally corrupt? I don't know, you tell me. Is it also kind of, in my mind, a little shady but brilliant? A little bit. But the next thing I did was I went through and I downloaded all of my top performing posts from my old Reddit account. Even though all of my posts had the red trash can, the media was still there, and so was the caption, and so was the subreddit it was posted in. So I made a note. This post performed best in this subreddit with this caption. I sorted my profile by best of all time, and I did that. See, here's the thing. When Reddit shadow bans you, it takes down every one of your posts. And part of my strategy for building up my new account was going to be reposting those top performing posts into those same exact subreddits. Now, we all know most subs have a rule that you can't repost your shit, but who's going to call me out? All the posts are gone. So where's the proof? They're not there anymore, right? We might as well use them again. Y'all, let me tell you, okay, yes, is that shady? Maybe. Is that fudging the rules a bit? You tell me. But using that strategy, as well as creating new content and all of that, I have raised my account's karma 2,143% in the 2 months I've been posting on it. So maybe it's shady, but it definitely worked. I will tell you, I had already been getting in the reports of what happened to other people when this happened to me. So day one, I kind of knew that this is not something I was going to get back. This was not going to work out in my favor. And after 31 days of appealing in both of the appeal forms, I never got that account back. I submitted 62 separate appeals, and I only got one response the first day stating the content policy was the violation, but they never said specifically what, which again, you guys know me. To me, terms of service, that's Bible, right? That is the Bible for me. So you know I was not violating content policy. I can only think of one potential, maybe, and that would be the 9-to-1 rule, which we'll touch on a little bit later. I was an idiot, y'all. I was so overconfident. I thought a shadow ban will never happen to me. My account was so well established, so well aged, had such high karma. My CQS score, my contributor quality score, was highest. I followed the rules perfectly, and it did happen. And it's happening to so many creators. So if this is happening, and we have no real way to stop it or prevent it, even if we're following all the rules, how in the hell do we protect our shit, right? Let's break down exactly what we can do right now to at least prepare. Because let's be honest, Reddit's coming for creators. Reddit is coming for NSFW. And if you don't have a strategy in place, one day you could wake up with nothing. Right now, hoping for the best, it's not a strategy. That's what I was doing. Not a strategy. Not remotely. What we need is a plan to make sure that no matter what Reddit does, we still can access our audience, our content, and our income. So the first thing we should be doing is tracking our clients' information. This is something that saved my ass when my account went down. My client and order tracker, which I will swear by until the end of time, saved my ass. I'll link her down below as well. I did not lose a single one of my clients from Reddit because I had all of their usernames written down and ready to go. So once I had aged my backup account, got it posting and got it active again, and we'll go through my strategy on that later as well, I started slowly, not all at once, very slowly, DMing them, letting them know, hey, I'm over here now. This is what happened. And they all said they appreciate it. And that even led to a few sales just reaching out for that alone. The most important thing you can do right now is have multiple accounts. If you are running everything through one account, you're playing a dangerous game because once that account, if that gets shadowed, it's gone. they're not responding to Shadowban appeals at this point that we are seeing reports of. Y'all always know, I always say, you need at least 3 accounts, and each one of these specific 3 has a very specific purpose. First account is your main account. That's your active account. That's the one you're using for your promotion, your posting, your commenting, yada yada. That's your home, right? That's the one you're actually growing and actually using. Then you have your backup account. Now your backup is not just sitting there, right? You are slowly building this account in the background. Comment every now and then. You're using it to comment, to upvote, maybe make a post here and there. It's not something that you need to be hyper focused on, right? But it's there to gain karma and account age over time so that if your main account is ever banned, you already have a secondary account that's established and looks legitimate. Then you have your third account, and this one, ignore her. You create it, you let it age, and you do jack shit with it, right? The reason for this is that Reddit flags new accounts more aggressively than older ones. So you want to have an aged account waiting in the wings in case your main goes down and then your backup goes down. You still have that third one with plenty account age. Now, don't just go making those 3 accounts until you hear this part, okay? Account separation is so important. You need to make sure these accounts are completely unlinked from each other, and here's how I did it. First, use completely different browsers for each account, if not completely separate devices. So let's say your main account you log into on Chrome. Fine. The next one, you should log in on Chrome Beta or Firefox or on Microsoft Edge, right? Then do not ever log in to multiple of those accounts on the same browser, even if you log out first. Reddit tracks activity. If they see you logging in and out of different accounts on the same browser, it's a huge red flag. Okay, and then the second thing you need to do is use different email providers. Don't sign up for them all under Gmail or what have you. Use different ones. You're trying to make it look like these are completely different users. You're trying to unlink them to the absolute best degree you can. Now that we have those 3 accounts, let's get back on your main and let's talk posting strategy. Reddit, and I've said this before, I believe in a YouTube video, but Reddit is the only damn platform out there that penalizes you for finding it and being a new user. I cannot think of another account that you join and it says, no, I don't like you. Thanks for finding us. Here's a shadow ban, right? And the number one mistake I see creators make is going too hard, too fast, too aggressive. And I get it. Your account goes down, you want to get your next one going immediately. You want that visibility. We want that engagement. We want those upvotes right away, right? But if you're dropping posts day one on a brand new or revitalized account, you are so likely to get hit by that new user shadow, which, will render your new account just as useless as the previously shadow banned one. So what I figured I could do is share my strategy that I use when starting a new account or revitalizing an older account. The way I think of it, and don't judge me, the way I think of it is a really old, shitty car. You just gotta warm her up, right? Day 1, don't do anything. Create the account, verify the email, maybe build your profile, nothing else. Don't post, don't comment, don't upvote. Just let Reddit and the algorithm recognize and process that your account exists. Did you notice I said verify the email? That's so important. That not only helps further demonstrate you're a human, not a bot, but that also immediately gives you a boost in your CQS score. Again, your contributor quality score. Day 2 to 3 to 4, what have you, I'd say 2 to 3. You're still not posting. You're scrolling through different subreddits. You're upvoting some posts here and there. Right now, you're just training the algorithm on what kind of content you engage with. That's literally it. You're just training the algorithm. This is a marathon, y'all. This is a long process, and I know it sucks, but it's what I have found has worked. Day 3 to 5, you're going to start leaving comments. I'm talking real engagement. Get in the communities that you might want to start promoting in and start commenting. This does a lot of things. First, it starts increasing your comment karma. Second, it starts teaching Reddit that you're an active user. And third, it helps you start building community and engagement in the places that you want to fully establish yourself. By day 6 is usually when I start posting. And once I'm posting, it's so staggered. And it's so slow. First day or two, I'm not posting more than once or twice a day, and then I'm slowly building it up. We need the Reddit algorithm to fully believe we're a genuine user here on the platform for the reason it was created and no other reason whatsoever. And Reddit was not created for promotion. Another note on posting. Y'all, let's talk that scheduler. It saves my life. I love her. Fan growth, she's beautiful. She's sexy. Don't touch it. Do not touch that scheduler for at least a month that you have been manually posting. And if you have under 200 comment karma, definitely don't use a scheduler. That tip is coming from Linda, who created Fangrowth.io, which is a scheduler for Reddit, among other platforms, that I have been using since day 1. I am currently using it on my new account, and I used it on my old account. Once you do have a scheduler, once you are using that, you still need to be manually posting as well. Like I said, schedulers are so methodical. They look like a bot because they are a bot. You can't look like a bot, and a scheduler cannot replicate the imperfections in human behavior when posting. So make sure you're combining the two. Also, final little note on posting, be really careful with links. This is where we're going to talk that 9-to-1 rule. That 9-to-1 rule states that for every one post you create or one comment you leave that has a link to go off the site, you should have 9 meaningful, engaging posts or comments that stay entirely on the platform. I really think, you guys, God, I really think, if anything, this must have been why they flagged me and why they're stating content policy. That is my only guess, because I followed the rules to a T, but my comment menu had my website's domain in it. So I think maybe that was it. Still don't know, because again, they don't tell you. All right, let's say the worst happens. You did everything right, but Reddit still came from you and your account is shadowed. What the hell do you do now? Don't panic. I mean, I panicked. I won't blame you if you panic. It sucks. You can recover though. And if you were careful about your strategy, you could already have a backup account ready to go, like I did. Your first step is going to be filing an appeal. Hear me out. Your appeal has to be polite, professional, and to the point. Honestly, it might be ignored anyway, but if you are angry, emotional, yelling, accusatory, what have you, it's going to be guaranteed to be ignored. I basically wrote out something like this. Hello, admins. I think my account has been caught in the spam filter, and I think this may have been a mistake. I always strive to follow the content policy and Reddit, and I would love the opportunity to clarify any concerns. If there's anything I did wrong, I'm happy to adjust my behavior accordingly. Let me know what we can do to restore my account. Short, professional, respectful. Not blaming, not demanding. Y'all, we are asking for their help right now. And if that appeal gets ignored or denied, you submit another one, and you keep going daily, not multiple times a day in one spot, right? Because that can be really spammy, and we're trying not to look like spam. but daily, and ideally during business hours, hopefully in the morning during PST, because their headquarters is in California, so Pacific Standard Time. And if you're not getting anywhere with appeals, which from everything we're seeing and hearing, Shadowbanned accounts aren't being addressed in appeals from admins, but if you're not getting anywhere, that's when it's time to start beefing up your backup and moving everything over. That's why it's so important that you already have one aging and building karma. Honestly, y'all, at the end of the day, Reddit doesn't give a shit about your account. You are one of millions, if not hundreds of millions on that platform. You are just a username. That is it to them. They will drop a nuke on your account and they won't blink because it doesn't hurt them in any way. And honestly, if you're just a user using it how you're supposed to, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? The only way that we can protect ourselves is to plan ahead and to make sure that if our account does get shadowed, our income doesn't get shadowed with it. Diversify your traffic as well, you guys. Yes, Reddit is powerful. For me, it is my workhorse. It's my powerhouse. It's my go-to. It's my number one. She's my MVP bitch. I hate her and I love her. But she's so unpredictable. If your entire business depends on Reddit and you lose your account tomorrow and you have no backup, then what? So never put our eggs in one basket, right? Especially not a basket that we aren't the ones holding. Consider promoting and building on other social media. You got Blue Sky, Twitter, you name it, get on them. A shadow ban on Reddit for some people, like it was for me, is detrimental. But in my case, I planned ahead. I knew that this could potentially happen. I was an idiot and didn't think it would happen to me, but at least I was prepared in the case that it did. Start planning, y'all. Get ready. Get prepared. Get your stuff locked down and put together in case of the worst case scenario. Because we're seeing the worst case scenario happening over and over and over again now. Alrighty. Whew. That was deep and dark. I want to say a quick thank you before we close out to everyone on the Patreon who helped vote for what we did today. It was a really close race between this and an episode on burnout, but I'm really glad we got to do this episode. This was a lot of information and she was really dense and probably a lot of the sky is falling type episode, right? Next month though, y'all, it's going to be weird. Next month is going to be absolutely crazy, absolutely wild. I sat down with one of my best friends who y'all have met before, the lovely Casey, and we literally just spilled the damn tea together. So stay tuned for that coming on up. And I really genuinely hope that this can help someone, because even though I was prepared and even though I had planned, I was devastated. When I say I cried, I stupid sobbed. Like makeup everywhere, sobbed. But hopefully some of these tips can help you out and quell some of those tears if this ever happens to you. All right, y'all. I really hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you're staying sane. And y'all, I hope you are goddamn thriving.